Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us on Morning Spring today. It is the Thursday edition of Morning Spring where we talk about critical issues in the nation, issues of public importance. And by the way, yesterday was Nigeria's independence and the 65th anniversary of Nigeria's independence. And, many persons have been talking, commemorating the day, advising the people, advising the state. The number one, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke on the heels of the anniversary, talking about his milestones, what he has done. But then it is our nation, Congratulations are still in order. So we congratulate Nigerians for the anniversary. And of course, we wish ourselves the very best. Femi Ojo is my name, and I welcome you today to this program. I'm not the only one here. Like Liverpool, you never walk alone. Daniel is here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Yeah, congratulations are still in order, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At least you're still celebrating. It's a new month. So
the rest of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning to you. Yes, to you, our distinguished viewers. Thank you for joining us once again on Morning Spring. This is Western Spring Television. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. It promises to be a great day. Here on Morning Spring, we start with the newspaper reviews, and of course, we dive into those conversations that shape our nation. And like I always say, if it truly matters, you get to hear it from us right here on Morning Spring. Daniel Emeka is my name. Nigeria is 65. So much to talk about. How far have we gone as a nation? We've come this far, 65 years since 1960, October 1, 1960. But unfortunately, we're still grappling with a lot of basic, fundamental issues. Some analysts will say we should have gone past this point at this time. They keep telling us, the current administration keep telling us that they've taken the right decisions. We just have to be patient as a people before we start seeing the benefits. The government has more money at all levels. Mr. President said that yesterday in his independence address to the nation. He acknowledged the fact that Nigerians are still suffering. He said they are still surviving, that we are surviving. And he was actually right about that. He also acknowledged the fact that the government has more money at all levels to take care of the people as a result of trillions of naira, in his words, saved as a result of the reforms that he has implemented. But the question again remains, are the people being taken care of? That's the big question. Femi.
Very big question, actually. And we'll keep asking this question. More money, in the hands and the pockets of the federating unit. So how about the people that make up the state? Talking about Nigerians themselves, can they say the same thing to say, yeah, this is the truth of the matter? 2 years ago, when the hardline decisions were taken, according to the president, these were the trajectory. A year ago, this is what it is. 6 months ago, this is what it is, or it was, and now this is what it is.
Same story.
Yeah, the president came and said, I can feel your pain. He has been feeling the pain since 2023, actually, by what he says. Okay, actually, what somebody who is purchasing power has drastically reduced. The president, I make both to say he can never feel that.
Absolutely.
How can you feel that?
He has no idea.
When was the last time Mr. President bought fear by himself? Actually, yes, it was out of power, since 2007 or thereabout. But then he has been in power. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
But then now that Mr. President says he can feel, okay, he will tell us, and then you heard, you are being briefed that Nigerians are in pain. We can hear, but you say you can feel. How can you feel? The other day, some things have happened, actually, that the wife, that's Senator Remi Tinubu, of her goodwill, actually gave somebody, a particular, to a particular cause, 1 billion naira, and another place, 1 billion naira. Sheyi Tinubu and his friends, that's the first son now, and his friends, during the Bono flood, gave 1 billion naira. How can those people feel what somebody is feeling? How now? That's the thing. Even with this spate of power in the Aso Villa, the president has to make, or the presidency has to make plans, for solar installation and inverters.
Exactly.
How can you feel what you are feeling? No, that's not correct. But then, if he says something is going wrong or something is paining you people and I know about it, that's fine. But for you to say you can feel, Baba, you cannot feel. All right, there is kind of feeling. But then he said, we have turned the corner. Okay, and Nigerians are with, is it sharp? That's the way we call it. Is it sharp corner or sharp bend? And all of these things. We wait to see. And of course, in Osun State, the dust is yet to settle, and it's not looking like it's going to settle very soon, soonest rather, especially with the allegations of payment of the local government fund, in which some have said it has been paid. Some are saying, give us the evidence if you think it has been paid. And some are saying, we know it has been paid. In which account was it paid to? Oh, it was paid into the local government account, and that makes it statutory, actually. And some are saying, we went to court, that the court, yes, it has been paid, but the court should not allow them to have access to the money. And, it's just where we are.
It's quite, it's really funny. I was laughing because I remembered what happened. Exactly. It's a bit of a mess right now. I think a couple of months ago, when the PDP Argon chairman, the Argon chairman of the PDP extraction, when he got wind of the fact that the CBN might release money to the APC faction, he went to the CBN office and
with his people,
and CBN had to call security as if they've come to rob them. I mean, it's quite. See, money is powerful. So both camps are just trying. And the same
claim he was making that time now, there are indications that, yes, it has happened. That account was being opened.
Exactly.
That it wasn't the statutory account in which possibly he and some of his colleagues would be privy to. But now we are learning it was paid into one UBA account.
Now CBN and Attorney General of the Federation are telling them to provide evidence. If you're sure we pay them, and just provide evidence. But those who received money have confirmed that they have received
money. So how do you provide evidence right now? To say, no, we don't know about it. If you say we are paid, give us the evidence. Did you see the alert? All right, we talk about that in the course of the program today. But right now, the newspaper segment is next. Stay with us. Now, we will start the newspaper segment where we look at headlines from the front pages of that dailies through the Daily Independent. Is the first point of 4. Nigeria has 65. We've turned the corner. The worst is over. Tinubu assures. All right. Almost about this time yesterday, the president was speaking. Almost at this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, 11:15. We've turned the corner and the worst is over, Tinubu assures. And with riders, says economy recovering fast, the reforms delivering tangible results. Nigeria has attained a record-breaking non-oil revenue increase. We have stronger foreign reserve position than 3 years ago and recorded trade surplus for 5 consecutive quarters. And lastly, the rider there declares in Owerri, Nigeria no longer where it was 10 years ago. Where was it 10 years ago? I think where are we now? All right, because the president was in Imo State for a book launch and, other things. The book launch by the Imo State governor, who's at him. All right, away from that, bloodletting. Northern Nigeria operating under curse. Dogara. Bloodletting. Northern Nigeria operating under curse. Dogara. A region needs purposeful, deliberate leadership. Saraki. Curse. What kind of curse? Who laid the cause? What cause are we talking about here? The cause of terrible people and terrible leaders. Actually, because Nigerians will say, what cause are you talking about? The cause that will make the rich becoming more richer and the have-not having nothing, actually. And banditry infesting the core part of the North. And he's talking about Mr. Dogara. He has been speaker in this country.
Absolutely,
talking about cause right now. What cause? All right. And now continue to bear discomfort of federal government reform. Is a very awkwardly interesting headline.
This narrative.
continue to bear discomfort of federal government reforms, Akpabio urges Nigerians.
While he lives in comfort, you know, he and his friends are in comfort. And
if there's something like abject, in which I know, if there's something like abject poverty, the Akpabio and his ilks are living in abject wealth. There's nothing like abject, but I'm just saying the extreme part of wealth.
Exactly.
That's it. And the rest of the, you know, Nigerians can begin to, or can continue rather. It's not even to begin. They continue to bear the discomfort.
Well, he knows what he's saying. He knows Nigerians will do nothing. But again, one day, like they always say, the monkey will go to the market.
I don't know the monkey at the market. Now, Jonathan urges Nigerians not to lose faith in country. Okay. You know, many of those things that these leaders have been speaking about looks like a book that is just being dusted. Like rhetoric, everything looks the same.
Exactly.
Same thing. Continue, persevere. I feel your pain. We have turned the corner. Continue to endure. Don't lose faith. Really. But when let's
remain peaceful, you know.
Yeah, like we know say something they do you, but no time. They even call it the pain of the pregnant woman. You know, it's used to be painful. The moment the baby comes out, everybody is happy. Now the thing is that pregnant woman has remained pregnant.
Absolutely.
Labor, it not as remain pregnant. That, you know, that proverbial pregnant pain or pregnancy pain or labor pain, it has perpetually remained in the labor ward.
Which means
the baby is not out.
Which means a surgery is needed. Nothing short of a surgery is needed. So you can't expect the baby to come out through the right means again.
That's a prolonged labor.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Terrible, prolonged, disdainful, you know, labor, because this is one that Nigerians are waiting to see. When will the baby come? And the joy. Joy is coming. You know, that like one viral guy on social media, I think I heard you listening to some of his stuff that will say joy is coming. Tell joy to come with the transport. All right. Now, Jonathan urges Nigerians not to lose faith in country. Nigerians, I'm not sure leaders should be urging them not to just lose. You know, yes, they can say it, but Nigerians would rather believe when they see. You can't tell me not to lose faith and tell you not to lose faith. When the leaders appear, you see them in Cambridge, standing beside their children for graduation at Cambridge, at Oxford, at Kent, and any of these universities. But then you come back to Nigeria and tell those guys that their ASU and their NASU and their ASU is always having one thing to complain about. And the students are not even sure if actually the whole session will not be disrupted. Yet to tell those people not to lose faith.
Exactly.
But when we see you at the other side, you are there with your babariga, with your suit, smiling with your children who are graduating in a flawless system.
And still come back to Nigeria
to tell them.
Exactly. And you're still flaunting your wealth. And Nigerians are calm.
They even post the picture.
Yeah, but unfortunately, what we are having now in Nigeria is an uneasy calm. Uneasy calm, because we are patriotic Nigerians, okay? But if we continue like this, we should be careful. What happened in Bangladesh, what happened in Nepal might also happen in Nigeria. That's just the truth, because there's a limit to how long you can take people for granted. Exactly. People are calm. They are suffering in silence. But one day, people will say, we've had enough. We go for broke.
And we hope we don't get to that point. Q2, Nigeria's agri-trade surplus endures as export earnings line. Bottom strip, you are after check-off dues, not workers' welfare. Dangote tells Pengasan. This is one Pengasan and TUC. And we don't know what Ibez has done with our money. Sarah Ibe, then you should ask him what he has done with your money. Naiti wants immediate reform to unlock Nigeria's solid minerals potential. Top strip. Atiku hails Nigerians' courage, blast the federal government over hardship, with a rider saying says 2027 provides opportunity to reject APC's bad leadership. Really? And call for leaders to crystallize potential to make Nigeria great. Rises. All right, that'll be all from the Daily Independent.
And from the Daily Independence, we move to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. On the Nigerian Tribune, Dangote Pengasan suspends strike, issues fresh threats. Pengasan suspends strike, issues fresh threats. That's the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. They suspended their strike. Now they are issuing fresh threat. With a rider, how FG brokered truce over dispute. You might want to read up details of that story on page 3, talking about the dispute between Dangote and, of course, Pengasan right there. Recall that Pengasan threatened to shut gas supply to Dangote refinery until the federal government stepped in, and now they've suspended the strike. But unfortunately, it is not yet to Huru, as they say. All is not clear. The coast is not totally clear yet, as Pengasan are still issuing threats. You might want to find out details of that on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. On the top strip, Lagos government faults Obi on trade fair demolition, insists buildings had no approval. Lagos government faults Obi on trade fair demolition, insists buildings had no approval. You find that story on page 5. Now, I talked about it here when over 19 buildings were demolished at trade fair. The question is, who gave those approvals? That's it, because this is Lagos. We're talking about Lagos here. Yeah. No one will want to waste their hard-earned money. These guys are hustlers. These guys are traders. So you want to waste millions of naira to put up a structure without getting approval from a particular agency. So the question remains, who gave them that approval? Exactly. No one would do that. No sane Nigerian will go to Lagos and erect a structure without getting approval. So a particular agency must have given that approval. Now the state government is saying there was no approval given for that. It doesn't make any logical sense. So no matter the rules or the laws you want to apply, it's just simple. Let's just apply common sense. That's just it. The application of common sense. Otherwise, look at the damage done to those businesses. A particular Magnus, I counted him, when he was telling a story, he said they demolished his building right in front of his foreign partners. He lost everything. Yeah. But he's not giving up. Of course, they will rise again. They have that resilient spirit. They are traders. But the point should be made clear. An approval was given somewhere before those people erected those buildings. There is nothing the government can say about that, because it's absolutely impossible for people to acquire property without any form of approval. Away from that, still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Kwara. Security forces attack kidnappers' hideouts. Government urges limited movements. I'm talking about Kwara State right there. Security forces attack kidnappers' hideouts. Government urges limited movements, urging people to limit their movement. You'll find that story on page 21. That might just be their own form of security, telling people to limit their movement, whatever that means. Quite unfortunate what has been happening in Kwara State. We had that interview right here last week. Was it last week? Yeah. I think earlier this week. Yeah, earlier this week. Exactly. I mean, scores of people being killed, and some of them not even being reported. The DSS urging them not to, share the information so as not to, incite public unrest and all that. But the government should do something decisive about it and not just tell people to limit their movements. Away from that, still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Scarcity of cooking gas hits Lagos. Vendors sell 1,600 naira per kilogram. Scarcity of cooking gas hits Lagos. Vendors sell 1,600 per kilogram. You'll find that story on page 4. This is quite unfortunate. I mean, Nigeria is a country blessed with enormous, amounts of gas. We have enormous amounts of gas untapped. For several years and several decades, we've been flaring gas. In fact, we're just wasting it.
See now.
And still, people have to pay through their noses to buy gas. It's a systemic failure. It is what it is. I repeat, it's a systemic failure because we have the natural resources. The gas is there. Yes, people are having, scarcity, having to pay through their doses. Quite unfortunate. You might want to read up details of that story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Below that, we have another story. Don't sell our assets in oil industry. Don't sell our assets in oil industry. ADC cautions Tinubu. You find that story on page 4. Don't sell our assets in oil industry. ADC cautions Tinubu. You find that story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Below that, we have another story. Report warns Nigeria of declining global oil demands. Report warns Nigeria of declining global oil demands. Below that, urges focus on non-oil exports. Tax reforms. You find that story on page 6. Of course, there's a global decline in oil demand. People are interested in other forms of energy, renewable energy, solar, different forms. So, of course, there's a global decline in oil demand. But thankfully, Nigeria's non-oil exports has increased to 48%, according to Mr. President's speech yesterday, which is quite a good improvement. You'll find details of that story on page 6. And on health, eating more fruits protects lungs against air pollution. That's coming from a study. Eating more fruits protects lungs against air pollution. You find that story on page 23. And right there at the middle of the page, you can see the picture of Senator Oluremi Tinubu, that's the wife of Mr. President, as the First Lady of Nigeria. Then, of course, we have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have Professor Wole Soyinka right there beside him. Then we have Babajide Sanwo-Olu, that's the governor of Lagos State. Then, of course, the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi Lamido, right there, during the reopening ceremony of the 4,000 capacity Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and the Creative Arts. That's a picture right there at the middle of the page. Away from that, it's on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Probe attempts to pay out 12.75 billion naira. Probe attempts to pay out 12.75 billion naira Osun LG funds as legal fees. PDP asks IGP EFCC. Probe attempt to pay out 12.75 billion naira Osun LG funds as legal fees. PDP asks IGP EFCC. Below that, however, right, that PDP is confused. Party should be ignored. That's coming from APC spokesman. Femi, this is interesting. 12.75 billion naira out of the LG funds to be paid as legal fees. What sort of legal fees exactly? Now APC is saying they should ignore the PDP, that the PDP is confused, that they should be ignored. We do hope we hear from the horse's mouths right here on this platform. They should come and tell us what exactly is going on. If they have this information, what's the evidence? Do they have the evidence? That's another question. Away from that, it's all about evidence, so that you won't, like we say here, you go explain tire. When there's no evidence, it's just your word against mine. Away from that, finally, from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Kogi government mourns as 26 feared killed, others missing in boat accidents. Kogi government mourns as 26 feared killed, others missing in boat accidents. You find that story on page 3. And that'll be all from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right. And from that Tribune, let's see what the Punch has for us. Pengerson strike. NNPC laments losses as union halts action. And Pengerson strike. NNPC laments losses as union halts action. 16% of crude output, 30% of gas supply disrupted during strike, and dispute to risk economic instability. Federal government. Pengerson, suspension, not cancellation, will strike again if deal fails. You know, you think you are talking about Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo there. When you keep hearing striking, you strike. Or
everyone has become a striker.
Or Amadio are striking somewhere. Dangote denies victimizing staff. And Nigerians languish in prisons after Ethiopia stalls MOU. Kogi boat crash, death toll, he's 26 in Oboman. And Wale Tinubu backs Africa Energy Award in South Africa. Nigerian arrested for attempted trafficking to daughter. I take that again. Nigerian arrested for attempted trafficking of daughter to Iraq. Of all places, Iraq. Now, Nigeria's 8-month debt service bill hit $2.86 billion from the CBN. Nigeria's 8-month debt service bill hits $2.86 billion CBN. And top strip, Nigeria 65. Tinubu's reforms are yet to ease a hardship export. And one doctor attends to 9,083 Nigerians. Anyhow, dealer man. One doctor attends to 9,083 Nigerians. Anyhow, as the National Association of Resident Doctors lamenting.
Yeah, we have super doctors in Nigeria.
Super.
Exactly, super doctors.
All right, and 853 billion naira crime proceeds recovered in 1 year. EFCC, 853 billion naira crime proceeds recovered in 1 year. That means we should have added some money, more money. And then Fulbara sacks commissioners, others. What's going on here? In the words of Mr. Macaroni, what's going on here? Fulbara sacks commissioners. Is it part of the script that was? Okay. So
maybe he's trying to rewrite the script again.
All right. That will be all from the front page of the papers that we have. And I think for these money, okay. I think
we still have This Day newspaper. Let's take a quick look at the front page of This Day newspaper. On This Day newspaper this morning, Tinubu canvasses new orientation, urges Nigerians to lift, believe, put country first. Tinubu canvasses new orientation, urges Nigerians to lift, believe, put country first. And of course, most Nigerians will say, we have been doing that. We have been putting Nigeria first. Let the leaders also lead by example. Let's put Nigeria first. Below that, we have a rider inaugurates newly renovated National Art Theatre named after Professor Wole Soyinka. We saw the picture of that on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune just a while ago, talking about Mr. President urging Nigerians to put the country first. Away from that, on the top strip, U.S. government shuts down as Congress fails to reach new funding deal. U.S. government shuts down as Congress fails to reach new funding deal. Still on the front page of This Day newspaper this morning, Tony Elumelu bags Appeal of Conscience Award. You might want to read up details of that story. Appeal of Conscience Award. And on the bottom strip, PDP asks IGP to probe attempts to pay 12.75 billion naira Osun LG funds as legal fees. You find details of that story on page 8. 12.75 billion naira as legal fees. To who? Anyway, the APC is saying the PDP is confused. Just ignore them. But we will not take their word for it. They should come show us evidence. Tell us what exactly is going on. And rest assured, you will get that on this platform. And that'll be all from the front page of This Day newspaper this morning. And that also brings us to the conclusion of the newspaper review segment. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we dive into other matters. Right. Please stay with us.
Can you imagine the feeling when you get your news as they break with facts and clarity? Our news are reported as it is.
In Africa, and all those who masterminded the way it